time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating and linger. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.
Thank you for tuning in. Mel from Queens Sports Talk, WGJS Radio, Our World Media. Yo, NBA playoffs has started. It's on. It was a solid weekend. We're going to get to the surprises first because some teams just got blown out, and you know what I mean? It was crazy. So for me, the two biggest games of the night were the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings, and the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I was one who said that the Knicks and the Cavaliers series is one of the most. These two teams are the most unpredictable teams in the playoffs, and what I mean by that is this: I said that the Knicks could easily upset the Cavaliers, but the Cavaliers could easily upset a higher seed as well if they continue to play. So with these two teams, it just depends on so many variables. And what I'm saying is that I said if you can get Randall and Brunson to do their job, and if you can get R.J. Barrett to kind of show up, the Knicks is taking this series. I feel like the Knicks will win this if you get those three to play consistently. So we know that Barrett didn't play well, game one. He didn't have a great game one, 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 5 from three-pointers. He did have 6 assists. He did have, 4 rebounds and 4 steals. So he played a complete game. But as far as production-wise, scoring-wise, we need more from him. And I think that's one of the things in which Tom Thibodeau is not a good coach offensively. You know what I mean? I feel like he's the reason why Barrett is not where he needs to be. And that needs to change. The Knicks want to win this series. Not win a game. Because they're not going to win a game. They're not going to win this series playing like this. They're going to win a game. But they're not going to win this series playing like this. In order for them to win this series, I feel like they're going to need 3 guys to step up. Preferably R.J. Barrett. Josh Hart, he had a good game. He had 17 off the bench. That was good. But they need R.J. Barrett to really come into his own and realize, like, yo, I'm that guy and he need to play with it. I feel like Thibs is hindering him. But, we'll see how the series go. With that being said, Donovan Mitchell, it was time for him to step up. He had 38 points, but I'm still really not impressed with his 38 points. It looks good, but when you shoot, it takes you 30 points. It takes you 30 shots to get 38 points. Don't get me wrong. You got to do what you got to do. Even if you're having an off night, you got to let it fly sometime to find your groove. But he's going to have to do better than that. Going 14 for 30 and 6 for 16 from threes is not going to cut it. Like I said, he got his numbers, but also Garland has to play better. Allen has to, Allen did his thing. Allen did what he was supposed to do. But Mobley got to do better. Coro, LeVert, Osman, he had 9 points, which is not bad, So the Cavs are in position to win this series. I'm not saying the Knicks is going to flat out win this series, but what I am saying is that the Cavs have to be very careful because if they blink, this series can be over and the Knicks will take it. So game 1 goes to the Knicks. 101 to 97. The Knicks were pretty much in control the entire game. They let it slip away a little bit, in the fourth quarter, but for the most part, they were in control pretty much the entire game. That's going to be a great series. I'm looking forward to see how that ends, how that series ends. But that's going to be a great one. Another great series to look forward to is the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento, they're a young, talented team. They're hungry right now. They got a veteran coach in Mike Brown. He's probably going to end up being, the coach of the year. They got Sabonis. They got Barnes, who's a veteran who has a champion. They got young talent in Fox, Herter, Malik Monk. He used to play with the Lakers. He's been fire, off the bench. Trey Lyles, he had a good first game. So what I like about the Sacramento game is like they came out unafraid. They came out. It was 29-29 in the first quarter. You know, so it was an evenly match. After the second quarter, Golden State went up 6 points at halftime, but it wasn't like they were blowing the Kings out. It was only a 6 point lead at halftime, and the Kings, they were with it. And I heard Fox after his post game interview, and he spoke about getting used to the physical play in the playoffs. In the first half, he was really trying to find his groove. In the second half, he felt more comfortable, and it reflected because in the second half, Sacramento came out with a charge, and they scored 36 points in that third quarter, and they pretty much, they went up 7 points. Golden State only scored 29, so they outscored Golden State by 7 points, so they had a 1 point lead going into the fourth. In the fourth quarter, it was like both teams were just going. Golden State 33 points, and the Kings had 35. But one thing about Golden State is that since Mike Brown took the Sacramento head coaching job, the Golden State Warriors defense has not been the same. And we know Mike Brown's a good coach. He's a good defensive coach as well. And I think that's what's going to be the key to this series. Golden State in the past of previous playoff runs, they were able to get stops while scoring. Right now, they're just scoring, but they're not getting stops. They're not going to win a championship this year if they're not getting stops. They were a horrible road team this year, and they start the playoff the same way. Now, we know anything can happen in the playoff series. Somebody can get injured, foul trouble, so many variables that can happen. Somebody do something stupid, and they end up getting suspended. So the playoff series is not over until it's over. So it doesn't mean that Golden State is going to lose this series. We're just witnessing how the Sacramento Kings aren't scared. I don't think that Golden State is pumping fear in the Kings' heart. And that's a good thing for a young team. So that's a good thing. Outside of that, they had two other games. Both were blowouts. The Celtics blew out the Hawks. The Hawks had 99. The Celtics had 112. Trae Young he ain't play well. 5 for 18, 1 for 5 for 3, only 16 points. He got to do better than as a star. Murray played well. Capella did okay. Everybody did okay. Everybody else in the starting five had double figures. So that's a great thing for the Hawks. If they can get that production and Trae Young could step up and play better, I don't think the Hawks are going to win this series, but at least it'd be a lot more competitive. Where as far as with the Celtics, you had Brown with 29, White with 24, Tatum with 25, Smart had 11. So, the Celtics is ready to go. They don't go. I look at them. They should be in the conference finals again against the Bucks. And then you got the Sixers and the Nets. Now, I was joking in a group, and I picked the Nets, and I picked a bunch of teams, and I was just joking around to fix that. But the Sixers should run through this series. It should be a sweep. If they want people to take them serious, it should be a sweep. But they blew the Nets out. It was a 20-point victory. The Nets only came up with 101 points versus this Philadelphia 76ers 121 points. So Bridges played well. Cam Johnson did okay. Dinwiddie, he didn't play well. Claxton didn't play well. Finley. The Nets, they're going to get smoked this series. Patty Mills didn't play. Seth Curry. I don't know what they're doing in Brooklyn. I don't know what Jacque Vaughn is doing. I don't know why you're not playing Seth Curry. I don't know why you're not playing Patty Mills. I don't know what these lineups is like, but, the Nets, they should pretty much get that work. I'll be surprised if they win this series. I'll be surprised if they win the game. They should win the game because it's the NBA and you're professional, but I would honestly be surprised if they win the game. But with that being said, we're going to jump over to today's games. We got the Lakers and we got the Grizzlies. Lakers versus Grizzlies at 3 p.m. I think the Lakers need to jump out early. They won the regular season 2-1 against Memphis this year. They never played Memphis with AD and LeBron together, and they still won. And one game, Ja missed. So I'm looking forward to this. The Lakers should win this series. I don't care what anybody says, but it should be an interesting series. That's at 3 o'clock. And then you got the Heat versus Bucks. You never count out the Heat, but the Bucks should win that one. You got the Clippers versus Suns. And don't sleep on the Clippers, man. Do not sleep on the Clippers in this series. Don't think it's going to be a giveaway. They play at 8 p.m. tonight. And then you got the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. I'm going to pick the T-Wolves. I just feel like they're a deeper team. They're a more solid team. I know the Nuggets have the best record. But I think sometimes matchups are important. And I personally don't think that the Timberwolves are a good matchup for the Nuggets because you got you got Gobert and you got Towns who are able to kind of, if you want, double and Jokic. They both can play him. I'm not saying they can stop him, but I think it's going to be a matchup problem. Jokic is going to be, he's a good player, but when you have two big men, I think they're going to be able to neutralize Jokic. And outside of that, I think Anthony Edwards is like the best player, after that. So I'm going to pick the T-Wolves to win this series. It should be an interesting day. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers won game 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if the T-Wolves won game 1. The Bucks probably going to beat the Heat. And I think the Grizzlies, they're going to come out ready to go. But I think in the end, the Lakers is going to win this. So, it is what it is, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. The NBA playoffs is ready right now. So it's going down. Let's see how things go. And let's see who comes out. A topic we're going to talk about this week coming as well is the MVP of the league. Who's the MVP? I personally think that, if nothing changed, that the MVP should still be either Jokic or Giannis for MVP. That's me personally. People just trying to say, oh, it's Joel Embiid time because Jokic got it and Giannis got 2. It should never be that, Just like last year, Embiid led the league in scoring. So nothing changed this year. They still not the number 1 team. The Sixers not the top team in the East, the West. So I don't understand why should anything change. So that's why we shouldn't put too much stock in these all NBAs and defensive and MVPs where you get people to vote, because a lot of times it's politics. There's a lot of times it's narratives. A lot of times, this person keeps winning. No. If the numbers are identical to last year, close to, for all the players that were in the race, nothing should change. Give it to the same person you gave it to last year then, which should be Jokic. Or, if you feel like Giannis, had a better season and he was number 1 in the East as well, give it to Giannis. But Embiid doesn't deserve it. No way, shape, or form does he deserve the MVP. And I'm going to leave it at that. But this is your boy Mel from Queens, from Mel from Queens Sports Talk, WGJS Radio, Our World Media. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe. When you hit the notification bell, make sure you click all and share it. Thank you.
Time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating and linker. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.